I'm Lisa Gilbert. I've been Public Citizen's Executive Vice President for the last 4 years, and I'm thrilled to announce that starting today, I am the new co-president of Public Citizen. I've been working to take on corporate power my entire career, fighting to represent Main Street Americans against a titanic, power-hungry corporate infrastructure that seeks to influence politicians and weaken the public protections that we all depend on. Our air, our water, our financial system, our rights as workers, and so much more. I'm well known in the DC ecosystem for building large, lasting, and important coalitions with partner organizations, as well as my deep connections on the Hill and in the administration. For example, I founded the Corporate Reform Coalition, which is focused on taking on corporate special interest money in the wake of the Citizens United decision via transparency solutions. I also founded the Clean Budget Coalition to keep poison pill policy out of the appropriations process. And I started two of the nation's largest democracy coalitions, the Declaration for the American Democracy, which works to pass transformative democracy legislation, and the Not About the Law Coalition, which is an epicenter to take on Donald Trump's wrongdoing and abuse of power and hold the perpetrators of January 6th accountable. So my first job was working on issue-based political campaigns. I got frustrated by the excessive money in politics I saw as I advocated for social justice and environmental issues, and that made me want to work on democracy reform to try and fix the system. That led me to US PIRG, the Public Interest Research Group, where I was the democracy advocate, and then over to Public Citizen to work on the same issues and more. As you know, Public Citizen tackles the inequities of our system of democracy head on, but we also work widely to fight on affordable and accessible healthcare, for our environment, for access to justice, and much more. I've now been a public citizen for 12 years, moving from Deputy Director of our Congress Watch Division to Director, then becoming our Vice President of Legislative Affairs, and then Executive Vice President in 2020. I'm incredibly proud of how I've worked to position us with the Hill and administration allies, really getting us into important rooms and making sure that our progressive policy stances are heard in spaces that matter for real wins. I'm also proud of how I've filled campaign voids across multiple issues by starting major cross-cutting coalitions. I think it's kind of my superpower, and I think it's positioned us to do so much more. So I've always been the type of person that is motivated by fairness. And once I saw the clear unfairness of our politics, I couldn't unsee it. I don't think it's right that an idea like Medicare for All or public financing of our elections to give people a voice can enjoy over 90% popularity among regular Americans, but still not have a chance in the halls of power just because it's not something that the richest among us value. So at Public Citizen, I have a chance to fight to right those wrongs, to try and win the things that all Americans care about. And there's a personal aspect of this too. So many of these topics, fighting global warming, protecting our health, making sure that consumer products are safe. These are things that my daughter, Olivia, she just turned 3, deserves to have. If we can really win these David versus Goliath battles, then she'll have what she needs when she grows up. Right now, I'm deeply engaged in the preparation work across the progressive ecosystem to be ready for post-election reality. And together with Rob Weissman, my co-president, I'm working to ensure that Public Citizen is front and center in the next Congress. We will make sure that we are positioned to advocate strongly for what is right, regardless of who is president, and that we're thinking about the strategy and prep needed to push back on potential regulatory rollbacks, rule of law violations, and overreach in the event that it's needed. We also plan to work together on strengthening our outward-facing presence, on engaging even more closely with high-level decision makers, doing more high-level media, talking frequently with executive directors and CEOs of other organizations to build tighter partnerships. I couldn't be more excited for the challenge in the year ahead or feel more ready to take on this role. I also want to say a loud thank you to everyone who supported Public Citizen over the last 50 years. I can't wait to join Rob at the helm.